Hey, what is going on, boys? It's your boy, That Procedure, and
Carlos.
aka Nubinosis, bringing you guys episode number 2 of the.
Podcast.
You don't know the name of the podcast yet, do ya?
No.
Yeah, it's all right. So listen, if you see that thing back there on the floor, you don't gotta pick it up. That thing on the floor is a burrito, or not a burrito. It's a tortilla. It's a tortilla-looking blanket. It's a big circular blanket that's, it looks like a tortilla, right?
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
All right, so listen. So I'm going to be honest. Me and Joan just hit record, and I was like, we don't have a name for the podcast. I looked at the tortilla-looking blanket, and guess what I named it?
Blanket.
I named it the Burrito Bowl Podcast.
Oh.
So this is episode number 2 of the Burrito Bowl Podcast with my older brother, Carlos, and he's sweating up a storm. What happened, brother? You bike up here?
Yeah, I biked up here as fast as I could. I was like, that's crazy. And then the wind was coming against you.
Dude, it's been windy. It's been super windy. And it's dark.
Yeah,
Can you see?
Yeah, because there's street lights.
All right.
bad.
All right. So, obviously, with you being my older brother, you have a lot more experience than me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So what
Yeah.
I want to ask is a couple, adult I want to give the youthful viewers an insight on, maybe being an older brother. Maybe they don't have, an older brother. Maybe they're the younger brother.
That's why I'm really sweating. He told me about these questions, so I was like, oh, God.
Listen, we'll have fun as well, but I want to ask some more serious questions other than the episode with my younger brother Flares, and he's laying in the background over here wearing his outside clothes on my bed, shaking my damn head. But anyways, so yeah, you said you biked up here, and I want to ask you, when did you start getting into biking?
Probably like 2017. I didn't have my first bike until like 2 years after that, though.
Really?
Yeah.
So you just watch the videos and stuff, right?
Yeah, I watched a lot of videos, and yeah, there's some good. There's like the GCN, the Global, I forgot what it's called, Global whatever network. It's like a bunch of British guys that ride bikes, and then they have the Global Mountain Bike Network. That one's cool too. I got first into just like road bikes, and they're like the ones that have like fixed frames. They don't have any suspension. They're pretty cool. They're nice. I got into that first, and then recently, for the past like year and a half, I got into mountain biking because we live in the mountains and stuff, and so yeah, it's been a real cool experience, real fun.
So how would you say, how important is biking to you right now?
Well, right now, because I just finished building my mountain bike, probably like a good half of my day's worth of what I'm doing. Usually I'll either be like recently I took it to there's like a little BMX park right over here where we live, and I took it there. I was getting some good air and stuff, but the one plastic part of my bike that you can buy like an extra attachment for it to be like a metal screw instead, it comes because like factory just plastic, it came undone, so then like my whole pedal came off, so I was like, oh god. So I've been waiting for like a week now to get a new piece to finally fix it.
Fix it up? Yeah, once we fix it up, we need to go vlogging and go back to the BMX thing.
Yeah, you need to go and see how much air I get on that. I only get up to, because my bike's made, I've designed it to go mostly downhill. On the BMX track, it goes down that one hill real good, and then I get some good air on the first jump, and then after that, it like slows down. It's really heavy, heavy bike.
I believe it. But, so the reason I'm asking you all these questions is, how important, I want to ask how important hobbies are. Like creating new hobbies, like not sticking to old hobbies and creating new hobbies as you get older. Like, I don't really know where I'm going with this question, but I'm going to just assume you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I could assume it. I mean, I think hobbies, well, not just like hobbies, but like the dreams that you have, what you want to do with your life, they all play like an important part of like not going insane from doing, your job. Everybody hates, unless, you have a successful business or career, they're like, oh, it's my passion in life to be a chef,
which is like very rare.
Which is really hard to do. Yeah. Very rare. A lot of people can try it, but not everybody's gonna succeed. Unless you have one of those, you kind of need like an outlet for you're keeping your sanity. Like I work at a call center, and I mean I hate that job, but I mean it pays the bills, whatever. So, but if that was it last month in January, I had overtime. Man, it was horrible. I got paid a lot of money, but I was like, oh god, I hate this so much. It was terrible, but But yeah, I mean, hobbies are really important. They keep you motivated and happy. So very important, I would say, to your everyday life. You know?
No, yeah, and I've run into a lot of people where they're scared to try new things. Where like like I'll offer like, hey, like let's go skating because I skateboard. I'll offer like, hey, let me try and teach you to skate, or they're like, no, I don't have good balance. They'll make like a ton of excuses, or hey, I don't have time, which is like probably the dumbest excuse I've ever heard. But I'm not saying that it's a lie or anything, but I think it's like really important to just put yourself out there and try new things. Like whether it's literally just starting by watching a couple videos. Like for example, when I had TikTok, I never knew I was like super into a ton of things. And then I found a couple videos that were like pretty interesting on like JDM cars, more skating, like I'm trying to think like even just like basketball, like statistically knowing like the player stats and all that. I found all those little things very, very interesting. And I feel like maybe that's a start, but trying to just put yourself out there into learning new things and actually trying new hobbies. And I have another example actually is like just wanting to try tennis. Like, I don't know why. I literally had no reference, no nothing. And for some reason, one day I literally just woke up and I was like, you know what? I want a tennis racket.
Let's do some tennis. Yeah.
So I asked for a tennis racket for Christmas. I got 2 of them, and me, Carlos, and Joan have gone like 2 times.
And I hurt my leg real bad, but it was fun. It was fun.
We gotta vlog that as well. But yeah, you gotta really put yourself out there, and just figure out what you like. Because whoever you are right now, I guarantee you, within a year to 2, 3, 4 years, you will have so many different opinions and hobbies, and you'll be a new person to yourself. And I really, really want to emphasize on like really trying to push yourself to just new limits, meeting new people, regardless if you're an introvert or an extrovert. Like literally put yourself in a situation where other people can relate to you. And I'm sure you've met people where like maybe they like biking as well, or for example, Garrett with longboarding. I'm sure like
yeah. That's a funny story. We in middle school we had to write I don't know, I forgot. It was like the first week of school. So my friend Garrett, who likes to longboard, it's like basically skateboarding, but with a huge board, and you don't do tricks. You like just ride. Well, you do tricks on it and stuff, but it's like basically about the ride instead. And I always remember this. We had to write like a paragraph introducing ourselves, like what we wanted as like a dream in life or something. And we live in El Paso. There's like a road that goes to the mountains. It's called the Trans Mountain Road. It's like this huge hill. It's really nice. It's real scenic and everything. But he writes on the paper, he's like, my dream is to bomb Trans Mountain. And we're all like, oh, yeah, that'd be sick. And then the teacher gets in. She's like, what the hell? This guy's a terrorist, domestic terrorist. She's like, Garrett, can I speak to you for a moment? And then she asks him. She's like, oh, no. It means like ride a skateboard. It's so funny.
Dude, the terminology these days, man.
Like
I can't imagine all the new terms that like Julian's generation is like creating. And these teachers are just so lost.
What was that one that even
try to get a little closer.
Well, there's like one like sus. Like I didn't understand.
Oh, Among Us sus.
The sus. I was like, what's sus? And then I started using that every day. I was like, this is so sus. Even when it wasn't even like the right way to use it, I was like, this is sus.
That's so good.
But before I forget, I wanted to mention something because right now you're saying about how like you should always try new things and all this stuff. I had a bit of a tangent, which we'll get back to what you're saying. But have you ever tried that new game, the Sifu game yet?
Oh, I watched it. It looked really cool.
Looks like a cool game, right?
Go ahead.
I don't know. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, does it restart? Because I watched Jake and Bake play it, and I just had it like while having homework.
Yeah.
And does it completely restart when you like reach the maximum amount of deaths or age?
Yeah, it like ends the game.
Really? Dude, that's hard. That's good.
It looks real fun. I've been wanting to try it. I just haven't I could buy it right now, but I don't want to. I have to spend enough time on school stuff, so I can't really fit that in. But it's a cool game. But what I wanted to bring up was there's a trailer. I thought it was an awesome trailer. It was like a live action trailer for the game. It's like some guy just kicking this guy's asses, and he busts into this room and he like kills her buddy, and then this guy with the machete comes in. He's just like shh, and he's fighting him, and then he ends up dying or whatever. So you're like, oh man, what happened? This guy's like the protagonist. He shouldn't die. And then he goes in like to this like white room, and he's just like, my father told me that the only mistakes worth making are the ones where you learn something from it. And then he comes back to life because that's like the whole game.
As an older guy?
As he comes back older, and then he learns how to beat that guy.
Sick.
I was like, dang, I was like, dude, they should have made a movie about this.
What a great concept. Like,
yeah, if you guys get a chance, just look it up. Look up like the live action Sifu trailer. I was like, damn, that gave me chills. I was like, that's like such a good way of saying it. Like, He's like, the only mistakes you make are the ones where you don't learn anything from him, and he comes back and like kills the guy with the
Dude,
machete. I was
That's
like,
so
dang.
good.
And the guy with the machete's like, the hell, this guy's alive again? Like, what the hell? That was pretty funny.
That's so good. Yeah, honestly, that's such a great concept for a game. Like, there's been so many games that I feel like have come out, and it's just the same idea over and over and over again.
Yeah, there was a video I saw like a few years ago. My YouTube, everybody watching YouTube. I was watching some other YouTube guy, and he's talking about like how most video games are just they're like offensive based. There's not like creative games could be boring. Most of the time, sometimes they're cool, but like 90% of like AAA titles and most games are like offensive, player versus player, versus environment.
People are so soft.
Yeah, but I was like, yeah, that is interesting. I mean, it would be cool to branch out, but I don't even know what I would do. But
Yeah, it's hard to come up with some original ideas with so many people working on so many things at the same time.
do you remember? I don't know if you ever played this. They had this game was sold. They had it like on floppy disk. It was the Oregon Trail.
Never heard of it.
Did you ever play that game?
Never heard of it.
That was a game that they had like stock on PCs back in the day when you used to go to school, and you basically play like a settler or something in like in Oregon, and you have to like just survive and not die.
Uh-huh.
And it's it's pretty fun. Like it's like, do you drink this water or whatever without boiling it, and then you end up dying of like whatever. I was like, dang, that's
a
funny.
hardcore game.
Yeah, it was pretty fun though. It was pretty fun.
So I wanted to.
Sorry,
You're good. I wanted to go to another question on.
I'm gonna mute it.
You're good.
What's your question?
So I wanted to go on another question. Obviously, I feel like, compared to me, you have a lot on your plate. Like, you have school, work, you manage your workout consistently.
Ooh, I've been slacking on that one.
But still, like, I mean, people can see in the camera, like, this dude got gains, all right? This dude's got gains.
I don't think so.
They said that in all the other Cultured Notion videos. They said you were the buff Hulk. You're the Hulk of the brothers. So-
nah. I mean, I think what it is, like, I feel like there's always there's always more that I want to do with everything. The problem is I always try to do one thing at a time, like more in one day than I do another day. I've been really slacky on my workouts, but I give myself a break, 'cause I'd rather be not as healthy right now and pass and get good grades.
Again,
and
like
and
your
then-
grades, yeah.
And then just get back into it. But yeah, right now, I mean, it's like my work is easy. I literally have gotten so used to work, I just turn off my brain, and then I just do whatever. The thing that sucks is while I'm working, I can't multitask 'cause it'll get too like hectic or whatever. But I could kind of just do like watch videos or listen to something, and I can do my work. I can't do homework while I do my work 'cause then it's just like too. I don't do good homework.
You don't even focus, and you don't even study, and you don't really
Yeah, and I don't do good on either or of the
take knowledge. Yeah.
things. But yeah, I mean that's life. I feel like it's just balance. Once you live, not with your parents anymore, you got a lot of stuff. It's literally just like balancing and just doing whatever you can.
So yeah,
Prioritize.
yeah. I wanted to ask. Obviously, you have your priorities, but like, what keeps you motivated?
I mean, there are a lot of things. Like for one, when it comes to school, I always keep myself motivated by saying, "Oh, I can't wait till like I can be like a teacher and talk about." Because I mean, I love
Just your goals.
Yeah, like today I had to finish reading. I haven't even finished yet. It's like a 15 or what is it? A 16th century epic tale of Edmund Spencer, I think.
That's just too many words.
Yeah, it's a cool story though. It's about it's like King Arthur, and it's like a guy who wanted to write about like another Odyssey or another Aeneid for like that century or whatever. But I really enjoyed reading it. If I had brought it, I'd read it to you. It might sound really boring, but I enjoy reading it. And I was like, oh man, it would be so cool to like teach people about and talk to people about. So I always want to motivate myself that way, or just to get through things. Like I just love to read those things. I'm like, oh, I wonder what it's gonna be like to read those things. And like yesterday, I'm telling you, I have 3 literature classes, so I have to read a bunch of stuff right now. Like yesterday, I finished reading what's that guy's name? He's like a famous satirist. I was talking about him last time. Something Swift, Jonathan Swift, and he wrote Gulliver's Travels about a guy that goes to like it's like he goes to weird places, like places where there's like giant people, and then there's a place where it's like miniature people, and then he goes to an island where horses are the main species that have control over humans.
That's so crazy.
It's pretty weird. And then he ends up like falling in love with their society. He's like, man, humans are horrible. But it's like a whole satire of like, society and everything. And then there's one famous one that I'm pretty sure you've read. Most people read it in high school. Is where he put the modest proposal. Have you ever heard that one? He takes it real. It's like real funny. He's real serious about how he's. It's not a joke in the writing itself, even though it is a joke. He talks about like, there's 100,000 homeless people each year, and all these kids. I propose that we start feeding the homeless, infants for 1 year. We grow them and then we feed them, and then we keep like 20% to breed again, and then like just feeding like kids to people. Like seriously, he's like, and then the whole point of that is to be like, we have all these people, but it makes more sense in his society to just like feed them to people because they're not that important,
That's crazy.
So I mean, he's pretty cool. It was fun reading him.
He sounds like he has some interesting, crazy ass takes.
Yeah, the one with because the other ones I didn't have to read the other ones. I only had to read the one with the horses. When he's talking to the horses, he's like, oh, like the horses have no idea what lying is because they're like, well, what's the point of lying if all it is falsehood? How does that help anybody? And he's like, oh, well, people lie, so that they can get self-gain and, they can deceive people and they're doing what they want. And he's like, well, what would be the point of that? That's like so unreasonable.
Together.
Yeah, and they're like really like.
Wow.
And so he starts like following, and then he starts speaking their horse language, and he like falls in love with their society. And then the guy's like, yo, dude, you gotta leave. The horse tells him, you gotta leave because, we're afraid you might uprise all the humans and then take over, so we gotta kick you out. And he's like, oh, man. And then he leaves.
Dude, that's crazy. That sounds, I wouldn't blame him for liking a society like that. No lying.
He goes back home and he hates his family because he just sees like monkeys and stuff. And then he buys like 2 horses and he talks to them every day.
That's crazy.
Funny. Yeah, it's a good story. It was funny.
So obviously, like, the things you like, your future goals of becoming a teacher and teaching these things.
Yep.
Are just a bunch of things that keep you motivated.
Yeah, I mean, all that stuff. And it's every day waking up. I mean, there's like that stuff, or riding my bike. Like, I want to bomb that. I want to bomb that hill back there, which we should vlog too. That one's scary. I want to do it though. I tried doing it the other day. I wasn't wearing anything, so I couldn't go too fast. I wasn't wearing like a helmet or anything. I didn't want to die, so I wasn't going too fast. But I fell, and some of the sealant in my tire came out because it was like it got caught in like a little
like ravine looking thing.
Yeah, where the water flows through, and I tried turning, so like it like grabbed the wheel.
Wow.
But that was fun.
You should get a GoPro and start filming it.
I should.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, I should actually.
But that's cool.
That's real fun.
Would you consider it easy to be happy in a society like this?
I mean, I think like the famous Pursuit of Happiness line over around, like, I don't think that happiness is something that you get to. It's like something that you always have to pursue. So I think in any society you have to kind of just keep finding the next goal to keep you happy, and keep looking and stuff. And everything's always changing, and you're not always going to be happy from the same thing that you had, the day before or whatever. So I think in any society, I do think, because I've been reading a lot of Jonathan Swift and thinking about our society, I'm like, man,
like that's why. Imagine
I tell myself, like, because there's a part in the horse story too where he's telling the horses, they're like, oh yeah, politicians, they're usually the worst of humanity that we put in charge, and the horse is like, what the hell? How does that make any sense?
That's actually like surprisingly true.
And I was like, yeah, it's just so crazy. It's like the bureaucracy of it all. Like, there's no fixing or whatever. So we live in a chaotic world. You kind of have to find your own happiness,
That's crazy. Those stories sound. I would actually be interested in reading some stories like that. That sounds super interesting.
Yeah, actually, I can lend you the book because I had that book. I have a bunch of old books, and it turns out that there are a lot of books that we're required to read. So I was like, okay, cool. I have it. I like to have, because I have it in the textbooks that he told us to buy, but I don't like to read out of textbooks. It's like huge. It's like
just a massive hard copy.
And I like to read comfortably, so when I'm laying down, I like to have like a little handbook. But yeah, I can lend it to you. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
It's pretty short too. It's only like 100 pages or something.
I'd be down.
Have you heard of the book burnings?
No,
or all the book bans and all that too.
I've never.
Yeah, recently there's been like a spiral of book bannings and stuff, and of like Ruby Bridges and stuff books.
So just like
and
crazy ideas. They're just
yeah.
burning books like that.
Yeah, well, yeah. There's like I was telling you right now, like you know who Ruby Bridges is, right? She's the first. She's like the little girl that was in one of the first unsegregated schools
Really?
and to be mixed in with everybody, and then like, they had like the police there and stuff to like
help
and
them
all
and
the and
protect them.
all the racist people were like, oh, get her out of here, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like this little girl trying to get in there. There's like books about her, and they're like banning those books.
Dude, that's.
There's books about
my
do you
God.
remember that book about the Holocaust? It's called Mouse. It's a comic book. It's about the Holocaust, and instead of like people, they're like animals. So the Nazis are cats, and the Jewish people are mouses, and like they banned that one too, from schools. I was like, what the hell?
I feel like that's like such a way to portray it that sometimes people need to just really realize that like humans are horrible.
Yeah.
And I can understand like a parent's view, like, oh, let me protect my kid from knowing like these horrible like historical events. But like, dude, I feel like humans are entitled. Like, we just need. I don't even know how to put it into words, but that's disgusting to me.
Yeah, it's a pretty crazy thing. Like that Fahrenheit book you read.
Oh yeah, that one was weird.
Isn't that crazy? Like it's the 21st century. We live in 2022, and they have like book burnings. It's like, what the heck? I feel like we've been moving for the past 10 years backwards in time.
Really, though? I don't know, man. I don't know, dude. Like, I don't want to get too much into politics, but, like, some people are dumb.
Sorry, I just brought that in because of the books.
You're good, yeah, but some people are dumb. This just came to mind. Tatum got me this book for Valentine's. It's actually a manga, or manga, however you guys pronounce it.
The manga. The manga was
Jujutsu
better.
Kaisen. Volume 0. It was pretty good. I read it all in one day.
Mm-hmm.
Take a look.
That looks pretty dope. I always like the artwork they have in these things.
EA Sports.
It's in the game. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty solid. Looks pretty good.
So yeah, I finished it all in a day, and I was like, man, I've always like not enjoyed manga, just for the sole purpose of like, dude, I want to watch it animated because like I want to see everything moving. Yeah. But I saw some pretty cool looking like. You just take a look at like some of these crazy ass.
They got some good artistry in there.
Yeah, honestly, it's pretty good. You guys should look at this one. This one's crazy.
Oh damn, that is crazy.
I'll give you the visual watchers a look at one page. But yeah, I've always talked bad about mangas because I just wanted to watch it animated. But honestly, after that, I might give some mangas a try. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
let it know.
I've read some mangas too. I never really got into them though too much, only because. Yeah, the same reason that you did. And then I feel like I never had the time to read mangas like peacefully, I think. I don't know.
No, yeah. I was surprised too cuz like I was thinking like, man, this is going to take me like a couple weeks. But since like it's only like
heck no, that'd take you like a few hours.
Yeah, it took me an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, like I don't know, I feel like it might get expensive after buying so many volumes.
Well, that's why they make them so easy to read, so you can just keep buying the next one.
After an hour and a half, you got to wait another month. That's crazy.
I have a quick question real quick. Have you seen the Charlie verse?
Oh my God, dude.
Charlies?
I saw one of the TikToks where they're all talking.
Yeah.
He's like, you guys are some pussies. He like knocks on the window. He's like, you guys are some pussies. And he's like, yeah, that's pretty. And then the other guys start talking. I'm like, oh.
And they're all just like, yeah, good job, Charlie. Good job. Yeah. And then they all do their like the lines that he makes up. Like, I just had to bring that up because I just saw that. I've been watching. There's a bunch of, I guess, because all the guys have their own channels. So they've been uploading on all their channels. It's so funny.
Dude, there's some content creators where I genuinely deserve, they deserve like the utmost, just like everything, success, respect. Like Charlie's one of those people. I feel like he brings up so many other people.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I like him. He's one of my favorites. He's always entertaining, and he doesn't take himself too seriously.
Yeah.
He's never beyond the guy of just a guy in a video on the internet, you know?
That actually leads me to another topic I was talking about on stream. Like, it was like a really, really serious stream. And I was talking about how I don't believe I can have friends that, like, as humans, they're not self-aware. Like, they take themselves too seriously, or like, you know, that they don't account for like some of their mistakes. Like, I've met a lot of people where like they faked who they are as a human. You know what I mean? And like
Mm.
they lie about things. And I was really thinking about it one day for some reason. I have no idea why.
Mm.
And I was really thinking like I really cannot be friends with people that are not just self-aware.
Yeah, that's pretty hard to find.
And I don't know why I just thought of that.
Well, that brings up a good point, Dale, because that was a thing that I was looking into too, as some videos and some books I was reading. I forgot there was a one particular channel. I forgot the name of it. I have a few examples. Like there's one channel that was talks about this guy. He's like majors in what's it called, like I don't know what the main like the professional title of it is, but he's like basically like a lawyer that handles like sexual abuse cases and like all this other stuff, and he like goes into just like I guess like it's like really hard to wear this like psychological behavior of like the male people. Like there was one thing he was talking about, how you know how in like most stories, like even most modern stories too, like there's always like a love interest, or even when we're young, when we watch cartoons, usually there's like the main character likes like the pretty girl, and then like by the end of the show, he always like
Realizes.
or no, he usually like hooks
Oh,
up
he
with
gets
the pretty
there?
girl. He gets
Alright.
the pretty girl, whatever. Or even in like a movie, they get the pretty girl,
Okay.
whatever. And like in the mind of like all these thousands of people, like guys are like,
That's what's
they're
supposed
like,
to happen.
if I'm nice to a girl, that usually will mean that she'll go out with me. You know, like I'll be rewarded by her thinking, okay, I'll give him a chance. And when in actuality, a girl could just be like, oh no, I don't like, you're nice to her, dick, but I don't like
It's not
you.
my type, yeah.
So like, I feel like there's a lot of devices and stories and modern things that people watch and stuff.
Build people to think those ways.
Yeah, like they see reality in that way. Like, oh well, I mean, I've seen it 100 times. Like, this isn't this how it should work,
Mhm.
or whatever. Like, there was another guy I was watching about his channel's called In Praise of the Shadows,
Mhm.
and it's just basically like he does like little video essays about random things he likes to talk about. And those one, his most recent one, which I recommend you guys watch, was about Nicolas Cage.
Mhm.
And when I say Nicolas Cage, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
That one movie where he killed the robots, like Five Nights at Freddy's, where he didn't speak one word.
I haven't seen that one yet, but I want to.
It was really bad.
Yeah, well, the funny thing is, he when he's talking about Nicolas Cage, most people nowadays think of him as like a meme.
Oh, that's
he's
true.
Like he's just the Nicolas.
And that movie's a meme.
Yeah, everything about like, and then like how he does like straight to DVD video, like movies and all this stuff. Like all this, his life's a meme, and everybody makes a meme about him or whatever. And the guy, the video that he makes about him is called "In Defense of Nicolas Cage," because he's like, when people interview Nicolas Cage, he talks about how he has different styles of acting, and that he doesn't like, because most modern acting is like they're trying to portray a character as realistically as possible, like a biography or biopic, or like even characters in comic books. They try to act like a character, or whatever. They try to do realism. There's have you ever heard of? I think it's the forget me if I'm wrong about what I'm naming this here, but I think it's like kabuki or something like that, which is like a Japanese theatrical, like the way that they like the expressionistic makeup and faces, and like it's very unrealistic.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like a theater art that they have in Japan, or even the one in China. Like like that meme song, the Chinese meme song where it's like the rap song.
Oh, okay.
That originates from like a Chinese, like a theater play or whatever, and it's actually a sad thing about like some guy being charged or something and for some crime or something. I don't know. I'm not too much into. I haven't delved too much in the Chinese culture, but my point being is that the field of acting and stuff has been narrowed down to like this. Like we have to be realistic and believable and try and be as realistic in real life in this movie or whatever, when these other methods of acting have been around for thousands of years and are like as just as important. And Nicolas Cage, he when he's expressing himself, he's like, well, I like to think of my acting as like German expressionistic and all kinds of craziness, but he's like I like to think of myself less as an actor and more as a performer. And I was thinking to myself, like, that's cool enough for his what he likes to do, being an actor and everything, and that's cool to want to be something that isn't what everybody else is doing, and to be able to see, like, even though everybody makes a mockery out of what he does and a mockery out of what he thinks is cool, he still does it because he's like, oh, this is what I want to be and this is like what I want to do and stuff. I was like, that could be applied to like everybody and what they want to do in life. Like, like streamers and stuff. A lot of streamers and what you're saying right now. This is a whole tangent. We're coming back to what you're saying. Like people want to be fake or whatever, and it's because people. I think everybody wants to be accepted, but they just don't know. They don't. There's a lot of things that they don't understand that they just think. Well, if I do it like this, like I've seen a million times, then I'll get to be friends with this person or be boyfriend or girlfriend with this guy or this girl, whatever. Like. People need to go back to also what you said earlier about making your own experiences, your own hobbies. You have to really investigate into different things and different
learning
avenues.
who you are.
Really explore things. You have to really open your mind. And I just think in a world with with computers and our world's so expansive and yet it's so narrow that people they don't see everything for what it is, because it's easy to just like the algorithms and everything. People are
it's not real.
It's not meant to inform you or to help you. Most of the time, it's just meant to entertain.
Just keep you there.
Yeah, it's meant to entertain you, and that's not what life is mostly about. It's not about being entertained all the time.
All right, brother. We're passing the 30-minute mark. Do you have anything you wanted to ask me? I asked you to.
Yeah, I was gonna say what's your short term goals for this until the end of this season here.
This season?
Yeah.
Like as in like summer?
Yeah.
My short-term goals, I guess like in the semester term, like obviously I really, really, really want to make it. I don't know if I've let you know, but I'll just explain it to you and everyone. So I went from EPCC to UTEP this semester. This is my first semester at UTEP. They completely refreshed my GPA for UTEP. So I'm starting at 0.0.
So you're trying to bump it up?
So I'm actually, like, I've made it a really, like, I'm trying to engrave it into my head. Like, dude, I need a 3.0 and above. Like, I really need it. Because my entire life, even in high school, like, I've always had a 2.3, 2.5, going through EPCC. I started with a 2.5, went down to, like, a 2.25, back up to a 2.5. Then, like, I've always been a 2. And I feel like I'm already starting, like, on a good start. Other than the test, which I'll get to. But, like, I've made flashcards. This is the first time I've ever made flashcards in my life since, like, 3rd grade.
Dang, that's something.
Yeah, so I'm really, like, looking into myself. I'm like, wow, like, I literally don't remember the last time I did flashcards. And I'm like, I was really thinking about it. And I was like, dude, it's been since 3rd grade when I had, like, the Bible class.
Yeah, well, dude, I mean, like, I feel like you've been, like, just floating and taking it easy, been real chill about it. Relaxed about it. But, I mean, as soon as you really put yourself or apply yourself to this, like, you'd be surprised what you can get done.
No, yeah, and I still find myself making mistakes every day. Like, even right now, like, I'm not streaming so often, but I'm still, like, forcing myself to be making this podcast once a week for the rest of the year. Or even vlogging once a week. Or even reacting to anime. Like, I wanted to react every Sunday on my stream calling Anime Sundays, where all these crazy animes are coming out.
The Attack on Titan, when is that in?
I don't know. No one knows. But it's the last season. This is like the last couple of weeks.
This is it.
Yeah. This is the last couple of months of Attack on Titan for the actual final season. Like,
I have yet to watch a single episode of that show.
You should watch it. It's really good.
I can't get past the intro. I get too excited.
Dude, season 3 was where it started getting really good for me. Season 4 is incredible. Every episode's intense. I think you should really give it a try whenever you have time.
When I have the time, yeah.
But back to your question, that's my goal for school, and I'm trying really hard to get involved, really, really hard, because I've mentioned how the move from community college to university, it's insane. Like it's a whole new world. I feel like with community college, it was so hard to like really like resonate with other people.
Yeah.
Not only because the fact that a lot of them were like much older than me, and it was very rare where I had like a friend or two in a class that was like around my age. So that was really hard for me.
And then now people are more your age at UTEP. That's crazy. I thought it was the other way around.
Nah, it's there's a lot of people. There's people younger than me in my classes, and I'm like,
yeah, I've had that before too. It's funny. I've had one like fellow student. She was like, I don't know, like 17 or so. She was super young, and she acted like the most adult out of everybody in the class.
And I was having a conversation about that on how people at community college seem to take life much more seriously.
Really?
I believe so.
Damn, that's crazy. I have not had that experience. For me, it's been...
Well, maybe with your group members, like, they just don't care, huh?
Well, no, I mean, I never even really had, like... getting like tongue twisted here. I've never really even had like groups or anything. I just go
Really?
to class
Do
and
your own thing.
do my own thing, and that's about it. But yeah,
Yeah, I was having that discussion on like people at EPCC have a goal. Like they're there, they know what they need to get done.
and people at UTEP just are
And,
there.
and people at UTEP like
That's horrible. That should be the other way around.
well,
UTEP's way more
okay, well
expensive.
here's where like there's a slash in what I'm trying to say. I believe people that start off at EPCC taking it seriously. And people that start off, not the majority, but there's a lot more people in university that start off at university for the sole purpose of partying, for the sole purpose of being in a frat
Man,
or
what
sorority.
a waste of money.
And there's genuinely people like that.
What a waste.
And that's what I've realized. And it's not that I have a problem with that, but like
I got a problem with that. That's a waste.
but that's what I've realized. And then now that I've moved on to this step, I feel like everyone that's joined for that sole purpose has either dropped out or they're on academic probation. And I feel like, all right, this is like where people are taking it seriously and still having fun. And it's like, it's such a different world to me. It's like so many people are more involved. So many people are willing to like talk to you. Obviously the age is a thing. Like, and it's crazy. I don't know if I told you, I met some dude. He was the same exact name as me. And he plays Valorant. And he streams.
Valorant.
And he's the same rank. Like all these different. And I just so happened to sit next to him in a full ass class of 120 students.
Wow.
Like, what are the chances of all those things?
You're
aligning?
like that. You're like that story of the twin brothers that were split up and then
They
met
found each other. That's crazy. But yeah,
Crazy.
that's my academic goals. As for streaming, I'm gonna try and hold myself accountable. I don't know about the streams being very consistent, but for the Patreon and the podcasts and the vlogs and everything else like that.
I mean, if you love it, that's what you like doing. I mean, no matter how the consistency is, and you're gonna be good. You'll be golden.
Eventually, I want to start making content back on my main channel, but we'll see. We'll see how things hold up.
Yeah, I've been watching. I've been binge watching Armitage, which is basically he re-uploads like hours of Funhouse and Inside Gaming,
Oh, really?
like the good old days. I was like, damn, that'd be so fun to make. Like, there's one of my favorite ones is when he's with. It's like it's Adam, which was he was always there, and then Bruce, and then James are there. But my favorite one is when they have Elise and Bruce and James, and they're playing Sherlock Holmes. Dude, they're so funny. You ever seen any of those?
No.
It's so funny. He's like, they like do porn parody of it. Like they make porn names for all the characters, and they just like do dumb stuff. He's like, his name is Sherlock Bones, and he's like, and then they're like the Sherlock's talking to some character in the story, and she's like, and then James is like, and then he looks at her and he goes, and then he turns her around and goes, it's like some old lady. It's like so funny. And then he's like, Toby, the best nose in the British Empire. And then James looks at Bruce and he goes, and then he turns him around and goes to the dog.
What?
It's so funny. Yeah, it's so funny. There's so many good. If you guys ever have a chance, just look up Funhouse, Sherlock Holmes, or even Inside Gaming. When that one's good too. It's so funny, dude. We got to do that. The way that's set up is like you have like the player here, which usually is like the worst player that can't play video games.
All right.
And then like the two guys on the back just making fun of it. It's like it's like a surefire way to get a good episode of something.
Ah, sounds funny. I'm down. I gotta get a wider lens. Get everyone in the.
We can fit everybody. They did it. Yeah, they did it
super
like,
scuffed.
Yeah, they did it back in the day when.
Dude, I feel like that's something wrong with me.
They did it back in the day. It was like 2013.
All right. Yeah, I feel like that's one thing. I'll say this and then we'll end real quick.
Yeah.
That's something wrong with me. I realized that like I'm always wanting to be perfectionist. Like I was like, oh, I want to start vlogging, but I want to get a better camera with my phone. I want to get a better phone or get a camera or get a GoPro. And I'm like, dude, I'm like trying to tell myself like, dude, just do it. Like you have a phone, and so many people would kill it to just be in your position to have an iPhone in general. Like that's one thing I really got to work on. And I hope that by the time I graduate, I've realized that mistake that I'm making right now and just stop being a perfectionist and get stuff done.
Yeah, don't let thinking that you need to buy stuff hold you back. Whenever I'm like, man, I wish I had that. Like when I watch the Global Cycling Network, the one I was saying about, where
like, oh, that bike.
they have like $10,000 bikes, which I mean, to be honest, is that I don't feel like they're really that worth that much. But you know, that's how much they're. So I'm like, man, what I would do to get that bike, and then you think about it, and like, I have enough to buy like a decent bike. At least I don't have a life in a third world country where I have to like every day look for scraps of food and like garbage somewhere. I'm lucky enough to
Yeah.
be able to afford what I have right now.
Yeah, just be grateful. I feel like, instead, I want to say I'm grateful. At the same time, I say things like that, like, oh man, like I would vlog if I had a better camera.
That's because it's easy to forget. It's human nature to want like more than
better things.
Yeah. Like the horses tell us, it's very unreasonable.
Yeah, I hope by the end of this semester, I can work on that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can. I'm telling you, once you apply yourself, you'll be golden.
Mm-hmm. All right, brother. It's been fun. I truly appreciate this conversation.
I love this.
Burrito Bowl.
The bowl podcast. I loved it.
The Burrito Bowl Podcast.
The Burrito Bowl Podcast.
All right. Thank you very much. Any last words?
Go watch Funhouse. Go watch Inside Gaming. The class. Don't watch the new Funhouse. They're okay, but they're pretty lame.
They would say some crazy stuff like EA Sports.
It's because
in my ass.
It's because no, they wouldn't. They wouldn't say that. They might say that, but no, I don't think they did. But yeah, if you guys get a chance, go watch that. Go watch those guys. Those guys are classic YouTubes right there.
All right, brother. Now, this is the point of the podcast where we pretend to do a thumbnail.
Oh, okay. So let's look at let me look at my phone like if we just saw like something crazy. Yeah, that'd be crazy.
All right. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. It's been the Burrito Bowl Podcast, episode number 2 with the homie Nubinosis, a.k.a. my older brother.
Nubinosis.
Thank you very much.
I gotta start holding the mic like this. Nubinosis.
Yeah.
I should talk the whole thing. Well, now that you've asked.
No, I can't even see your face fully.
You know that.
All right, brother. It's been fun. Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. Once again, subscribe to the Patreon for podcasts 1 week early. Other than that, I hope you have a great rest of your week. As always,
Stay golden.
stay prestigious.